Hi everyone, so in our today's recipe we're going to need some plain flour, some salt, some baking powder, and we're also going to add just a little oil for the pizza that we are going to make. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to pour our flour in a bowl, and you can do whatever measurements depending on how much pizza that you want to make. And then we're going to add some salt, just a little bit of salt to the flour, and we are also going to add all the dry ingredients together before adding the water and the oil. So we're just mixing the flour and the salt. And then next, we're going to add our baking powder, just a pinch, depending on how much flour that you have. It can be a pinch, it can be a half teaspoon of baking powder. So for this recipe, I'm just adding just a little bit of baking powder. Stir up the dry ingredients, the flour, the salt, and the baking powder. Mix them together. And then next, we're going to add our oil, just a little oil to the mixture, and then you can stir it up. And then you can start adding water, and just add water little by little and see how much your dough is getting hard. Don't add too much water at one time, just add a little by little and then stir it up and see how soft or hard it is. If it is too hard, you can add a little more water to your flour. So at the beginning, you can use a spoon, you can use a fork, you can use anything that you want, or right away you can start using hands, but I prefer starting using a fork, and then I wash my hands and I start using the hands to knead the dough. So when you start kneading your dough, you have to be very patient, and you have to knead this dough. It has to be very soft, and you can knead it for 2 or 3 minutes depending on how big the dough is. Just make sure that everything is mixed together, every particle has mixed, and there's no flour falling out of your dough. And if your dough is too big, you can break it up into small pieces so that you can knead it properly. that it's not too hard for you to knead the dough. So after kneading your dough for 3 or 2 minutes, you can make the dough into some round pieces and place them in the bowl. And then next, you need to cover this dough for about 30 minutes. So I recommend using a cling wrap paper so that your dough can soften up and the baking powder does not evaporate. So cover it up and leave the dough in a warm place or just an open space for 30 minutes while you prepare the other ingredients. So for our topping, I have some tomatoes, some bacon, onion, and green pepper, and then some more green onions and some bell peppers. And we're also going to use tomato sauce for our base when we start putting our toppings. So after 30 minutes, you can now start rolling your dough. You remove your plastic wrap and get a chopping board or any flat surface, and you can knead the dough for maybe 30 seconds or just 1 minute, and you can see that the dough at this time, it is very soft and it is very stretchy, not like the way it was before. So you can put some flour on your chopping board and then you start rolling your dough into a flat, not too thin surface. So this is what your base should look like. It should be flat but not too thin. And then you get your frying pan, or you can use a pot. If you don't have a frying pan, you can use a pot. Just make sure that you have something with a lid that you're going to use, because we are going to make this pizza on a stovetop. We are not going to bake it in an oven. So your frying pan should have just a little bit drops of oil, and then you place your flat base in the pan and make sure it is covered the whole surface area of the pan. Next, we're going to get our tomato sauce and just splash some little bit of it and brush it. You can use a brush, you can use a spoon, you can use anything. Just brush it on top of the dough. Make sure you cover all the surface area that you're going to use for your pizza topping. Brush it with the tomato paste. And then next, we are going to start putting our pizza toppings on top of the base. So the last thing that we are going to need is, of course, the cheese that we are going to put on top of our toppings. So you can put as much as you like. If you don't like too much cheese on your pizza, then just put a little bit, but I love cheese, so I put a very generous amount of the cheese on the pizza toppings. So that's it. Then next, we have to put this pan on our stove top. If you are using a cooker, you can put on top of your cooker. So you put your pan on the cooker and then switch it on, and it shouldn't be too high. It should just be a medium heat, and don't forget to cover it up and let it sit for about 3 minutes, and then your pizza is done. Or as soon as your cheese has melted, then your pizza will be done by then. You can check the bottom to see if it is well done, but usually this will take 3 minutes for the pizza to be done. So you switch it off and then get a plate to transfer your delicious homemade pizza, which is done in just 3 minutes. So there you have it, homemade pizza without an oven. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. Please share to see more videos. Thank you so much.